Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about prayer in public school. On June 25th, 1962, the U.S. Supreme Court decided the case of Engel versus Vital, in which a prayer that had been approved by the New York Board of Regents for use in New York public schools violated the First Amendment of the Constitution because it represented the establishment of religion. The First Amendment of the Constitution states, and I quote, "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abdicating, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or of the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government of redress of grievances." This amendment was the basis for the 1962 ruling, which has sparked a 55-year debate. While researching this topic, I had to look at both sides of the topic. I had to look at those who are for and those who are against. And I will confess that there are some good points and some bad points to this topic, and we're going to get to both of those. Is prayer in public school important? Is it really necessary? In an article written by Penny Starr, in which she interviewed William Jennings, a professor at the California State College in Long Beach, he stated that there had been 5 negative developments in public schools since prayer has been removed. They are that academic achievements have plummeted, including SAT scores. There has been an increase in out-of-wedlock births, an increase in illegal drug use, an increase in juvenile crimes, and a deterioration of school behavior. From 1940 to 1962, the top 5 complaints from teachers about their students were talking, chewing gum, making noise, running in the halls, and getting out of turn in line. From 1963 to today, the top 5 teacher complaints of their students' behavior are rape, robbery, assault, burglary, and arson. For those people who are against prayer in public schools, they say that these changes in our society and in our students are because of a breakdown in the family and a breakdown in society, that it has absolutely nothing to do with taking prayer out of public schools. By the end of this speech, I hope that you are able to decide for yourself if prayer in public school is worth fighting for. I'm not going to let you know exactly what is and is not allowed in public schools. There are many people in this country who believe that schools should be neutral. The reason being, they teach all types of students. Not only do they teach all types of students, but they are paid for. Public schools are paid for by the tax dollars that are earned and made by all types of people. So for that reason, they feel like schools need to be a neutral place, that schools need to be somewhere where children go just to learn. These are also the people who don't just want to take prayer out of school, they want to take any religious observances out of schools, period. They feel that making prayer an official part of the school would be invasive. They feel like students in schools are a captive audience, and that basically you would be forcing them to believe something that they may not believe themselves or that their family may not agree with. In response to the removal of prayer in schools, many schools instituted a daily moment of silence. Basically, it was just up to a minute or 2 every day that the students could sit there quietly. They could pray if they so desired. They could daydream about whatever they wanted to. They could read a book. They could do whatever they wanted as long as it was silent. However, a gentleman by the name of Ishmael Jaffe, who was a father of 3 in Virginia, decided that the moment of silence was a way to sneak prayer into public schools. So he filed a lawsuit, and since then, that moment of silence has also been taken out of our public schools. At this point, you might be asking yourself exactly what is allowed in public schools. What are students allowed to do? As long as the prayer is student-led, as long as it is done by students, with students, and a school official, teacher, principal, administrator has nothing to do with it, that is allowed. They cannot promote religious activities. School officials cannot promote religious activities in any shape, form, or fashion. Some schools, though, have found creative ways around this rule. Say, for instance, you are the valedictorian of your graduating class and you decide that you want to pray in the middle of your speech or at the beginning of your speech, wherever. As long as you are the one praying, as long as your student body has not voted for you to pray, and as long as your speech was not previously approved by the school administration, you're more than welcome to pray. That is well within your right. Mississippi, because for once we have to stand out for something good, our governor, Phil Bryant, several years ago, signed a law into effect that is allowing public schools in Mississippi to allow students to pray before sporting events, before school assemblies, and over the school intercom. Most schools do not allow this. Most states do not allow this because they feel like it is a way to get prayer back in the school. They feel like it is the school administration allowing it to happen. Mississippi does not believe that. They feel that that is school-sanctioned prayer. On the other side of this coin, by allowing prayer into public school, back into public school, means right now we're all sitting here thinking about Christian prayer in public school. There is a school it's called Carver Elementary School, and they are on the outskirts of San Diego. They have over 100 Muslim students in their elementary school. The school administration has taken it upon themselves to readjust the lunchtime and the afternoon recess time to allow these 100 students to go into a special room set aside to pray at school. The other side of the coin is, if you're allowing prayer into public school in our society today, you must be willing to allow all prayer in public school. You must be allowing your Christian students to pray to God, your Muslim students to pray to Allah, your Buddhists to pray to Buddha, Hindus to pray to whoever they want to. If a Satanist walks into your school and wants to pray to Satan in a public school, you have to allow it. We, on the other hand, are very lucky. We go to a very small, private Christian school. The federal government has no rights to tell us what we can and cannot do in our school.